What's up, everybody? John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, I'm going to be a bit of a downer, but so we are going to talk about how much it costs to keep alpacas. Now, so these are going to be real numbers, but I am going to round them off a little bit just to make it easier for me to do math. If you know me at all, you know I'm not good at math. Bubbles, you're a lunatic. Anyway, so I'm out here walking into the pasture. So I'm going to talk about some real numbers, and it's going to be depressing because it's a lot. But anyway, so this is going to be a video for people who follow us. You know, we do these videos every year. We've gotten more and more alpacas over the years, so obviously costs have changed. So we'll just sort of go over the costs and hopefully our plan for the future, and see if we can make some profit on alpacas. Let's get into it. All right, so the first expense, which is probably the most obvious expense, and let me just check my handy dandy list here, is feed and accessories. So now accessories includes things like, you know, the little hanging fence feeders that I'll show you in a second, as well as any like troughs that we need for water. You know, we haven't bought one of those in a while, but that's what that would include. So I head to the barn here. You know, the accessories, I think total were around 200 bucks. So really not that much. But so you see, these are all the feeders that we have. Those little fence hanging buckets. And so our alpacas get two types of feed. There's a textured feed, which is generally better for them. And then there's just the regular grain. Everybody's looking at me to see what I'm gonna do. They're probably all gonna come running when they hear the garbage can. So, you know, this is the grain feed. Look at them all. And then we mix, so I don't know if you can see the difference there, but there's a mixture of the textured feed right in there. Sorry, ladies, you already had breakfast. But so anyway, so feed and accessories, $4,000. Oh, by the way, I forgot to disclaimer this video in saying that, so we are in Connecticut in the United States, and we have 31 total alpacas. This is silver. So just keep that in mind, that those are our constraints. We also currently dry lot our alpacas, meaning they are not on pasture, because we are working on creating some pasture. So they currently don't have grass to graze. So they only eat hay in the feed, which is not ideal, but it's all we got for right now. So anyway, so $4,000 in feed. Everybody's all upset. Sorry, ladies. They were expecting a mid-morning snack, but we're sorely disappointed. Next up, we have hay. And now you'll see, where is it? Right behind one of our girls peeing. So this is our hay feeder. So alpacas get second cut hay. That is an orchard grass mix. I guess that has the best nutrition for them. I can tell you I am not a hay expert, but I've learned a lot more about hay in the last 3 years than I ever thought I would know. So this is what they get, and this is actually from a local place, but I think he may have bought this from New York. So this is the hay that they get. So it's really nice and green. It's soft. Doesn't have a lot of other stuff in it. You know, there's some clover and some other weeds, which is kind of unavoidable when you have hay. You know, you don't want people spraying chemicals on the hay that your animals are eating. So, you know, there's an acceptable level of weeds that they get. Anyway, so you ready for the hay cost? $9,000 per year. Whew. Now, that is sort of an amalgamation of two numbers, because we spent a little more than that last year on hay, but we had some left over from the previous year. But I can sort of base it on, you know, we've had this many alpacas for long enough that we know what their average daily intake of hay is. So multiplying that out, it makes sense. $9,000 is right about in that sweet spot of, you know, our actual expenditures as well as the estimated poundage that they eat per day, because these guys eat around 100 pounds per day. So that's roughly 4 pounds per alpaca. And then the boys that we have down there, same thing. They go through like 1 or maybe a little less than 1. So anyway, I did all the math separately. It took a long time, but made sense, so that did it. So anyway, $9,000 a year in hay. Hey, that's a lot, man. Next up is veterinary cost. Now, that includes both the vet coming out to do their yearly checkup, and they get a yearly rabies shot as well as CD&T, and the monthly ivermectin dose that they get every month. So, well, we do it every 28 days because then it's just easier to keep them on cycle because it needs to be every 30 days. So we do it a little bit sooner. That way it gives us a little bit of leeway in case we have to miss it for some reason. But yes, so that includes both the syringes and the ivermectin that we get, as well as the yearly checks for the vet. Next up, shearing. So all our girls get shorn, or not all our girls, everybody gets shorn once a year. And the cost for that was $600. Now that's obviously going to vary greatly depending on the number of alpacas that you have, but our shearer does a volume discount. So I think his normal price is like a $50 setup fee. So no matter how many alpacas you have, and then I think it's like $40 or so per alpaca. But since we had so many at the time, it went down. I'm not sure why he does that, but he's great. His name is Ron at Alpaca Boost Farm. And if you are in the Northeast, he shears everything from alpacas to camels and goats and everything in between. He is the best, works tremendously hard, is great with the animals, loves them, and does a really good job. He's also incredibly friendly and has taught us a lot over the years. So highly recommend Ron East, Alpaca Boost Farm. Again, we're in Connecticut, but I think he does like New York, New Jersey, and tri-state, whatever. So if you're in the area, definitely check him out. He's great. But so that was $600 cost for us. And I hope I'm not throwing him under the bus with the cost. Sorry, Ron. Anywho. So that's, again, and I was surprised at how low that was, because that's low. And maybe I'm forgetting something, or maybe we had fewer alpacas. No, we definitely did. We had like 12 fewer alpacas then. Okay, so that makes more sense. But so, I already did all my math, so I'm going to leave it at that. But so, figure that's a little low. That's a little more than $30 per. I think that's probably in the right neighborhood. And that's what I would assume that you would pay. If you only have a few, it's going to be more like $50 per alpaca. But, it depends. Anyway, shearing. Drop in the bucket, baby. Because next up is fiber processing costs. And I'm going to look at my notes, even though I think I know what it is off the top of my head. Yes, I do. So this year and again, we didn't have all of the alpacas, so that number's only going to go up. But we spent last year $5,400. That's $5,400 on fiber processing. And that includes getting dryer balls made. That includes getting yarn made. And we're actually not done with that yet because one of the mills still has some of our yarn, but I think we're going to have her make socks and gloves if she can. So we'll see about that. Hi, Lulu. Woo! Okay, so if we do all of that math together, overall, feed and accessories, $4,000. Hay, $9,000. Vet, $2,500. Shearing, $600. Processing, $5,400. Again, these aren't exact figures. Definitely a plus or minus, probably $1,000 at this point. But we're trying to get, the average monthly, yearly cost on this. So that comes to a total of $21,500. So that means you all cost a lot of money. So $21,500 to keep 31 alpacas for the year. Our income total from like yarn sales, a little bit of agritourism, hat sales, etc., was around half that. Less than half that. It was like $8,500 we made from selling hats made from 100% alpaca and yarn and dryer balls, etc. So not very much. Probably cut that out. Anyway, so $21,500 to keep 31 alpacas. Let's break that down, shall we? So that comes out to a total of $58.90 per day. That means it costs $1.90 per alpaca per day to live on our farm. Now you might say, like, John, that's just the cost of a cup of coffee. That's true, it is. But that's actually per alpaca, a cup of coffee per alpaca per day. So if you want to have 31 cups of coffee in a day, that's how much it costs. But anyway, so it's around $60 a day to keep these alpacas. So it's around $2 a day to have an alpaca. So now you might say, well, John, I only have 3 alpacas, so it's only $6 a day. I'm winning. But it's not like a sliding scale where it's exact, because, you know, obviously this bale of hay, I think, weighs 1,000 pounds. So that's only $1.60 per pound. If you're buying a $1.60 per pound. No, it's 16 cents per pound. No, that's $1.60 per pound. $1.60 per pound. Wait a minute. Sorry, I was doubting my math a little bit. So it is around 16 cents per pound for that. If you buy like a regular 40-pound bale, around here, for good stuff, you're paying at least $10. If not 12 or 13, which is crazy, by the way. But, you know, fuel prices and everything has gone up over the years. So, and so that's going to be like a lot more than that, like 50 cents per pound. So anyway, so it's a sliding scale. It's not necessarily like $2 a day is going to be the same for you, but that's what it costs for us per alpaca per day. Now, the predicament that we're in is trying to make money on these alpacas, because if we're spending $60 a day, that's a lot. I mean, that's more than we spend on groceries by a long shot. That's more than we spend on, you know, almost anything. So the goal here is to try to make some money. But I think so we have sort of a two-pronged plan. Bless you. One is to sell some of our alpacas as livestock. So it'll do two things. So if we gave away one alpaca, that would basically give us $2 per day, essentially, right? So if we sold an alpaca, it's even more on top of that. So let's say on January 1st of this year, we sold 10 alpacas. That would save us like $6,000 overall, because you do $2 a day times 365 times 10. But anyway, so we're going to sell some of our alpacas as livestock, and then that way our daily cost will go down. We'll also get some income, and then we're also going to invest some capital in getting our secondary pasture all set up so that we can have some grass, so that hopefully they graze and they eat less hay, and then our hay cost goes down. So the real trouble here, it's not trouble, the real thing here is to decrease cost, because it's going to be really difficult. So like I said, so we made $8,500 selling alpaca fiber products last year, which is great. I mean, that's $8,500 that we didn't have before. But to try to get that $8,500, we would need to triple that in order to actually make profit just on that. So if we reduced our costs as well as increased our sales, that's how you do it. So that's the goal. Hopefully we meet it. Hopefully we can do that anyway. So that's that. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end of the video, and I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I also wanted to reach out to our faithful subscribers. You know, we've had 10,000 subscribers for a little while now, and I've seen in the comments that some people may or may not be happy with the direction our channel is going, specifically after I was talking about the craft show thing. But anyway, so I wanted to hear what you guys wanted to see. You know, what do you want to see in upcoming videos? Do you want to see more of the alpacas? Do you want to see the chickens? Do you want to see the emus? Do you want to see wood crafting stuff, tractor stuff, sawmill stuff? What do you want to see? Because we got a lot going on, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So if you made it to the end of this video, I thank you. And if you have a suggestion for a future video, I'd love to have it. Leave it down in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Hi, Lulu. Say bye, Lulu. Bye, Lulu. See you guys.